What if I told you it's not laziness that's holding you back, but your fear of making the wrong decision? You weigh the pros and cons, the ifs and buts over and over again, and end up stuck in what psychologists call analysis paralysis. Sounds insane, right? But that obsession with getting it perfect is exactly what's killing your momentum. Most people think careful planning protects them from failure, but the truth? It's often just fear, dressed up as logic. And the longer you wait for clarity, the more your confidence fades, and your potential slips away. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover how to break free from analysis paralysis by shifting your mindset, limiting the noise, and finally learning how to trust your own decisions. Once you understand what's really holding you back, you won't just make faster decisions, you'll make braver ones. Stay with me till the end. Let's understand, what is analysis paralysis? Emily stared at her screen. 5 tabs open, 3 notebooks half filled with plans, and yet 0 decisions made. It had been weeks since she thought about quitting her job and starting her own business. But every time she got close to choosing a path, she pulled back, unsure, uneasy, overwhelmed. What Emily was experiencing has a name: analysis paralysis. It's the mental freeze that happens when we overanalyze a situation so much that no action feels safe enough to take. It's not that you're lazy or unmotivated. In fact, most people caught in this cycle are highly capable, but their brains get stuck in a loop of what ifs and maybes. Think about it. How often have you delayed sending a message because you weren't sure how it would be received, or spent 30 minutes deciding what to eat, only to feel drained instead of nourished? From major life decisions, like picking a career or launching a business, to small daily choices, analysis paralysis quietly robs us of time, energy, and progress. Psychologists define it as a state of overthinking that blocks action. It's not the problem of having no options, it's the burden of having too many. The more we analyze, the more uncertain we feel, and in the end, we choose nothing at all. But where does this paralysis really come from? What makes your brain freeze when it should be moving forward? To understand that, we have to go deeper, into the root causes that feed this cycle of hesitation. So, why do we get stuck? Let's understand the reasons. Why does something as simple as making a choice feel so heavy, like it's life or death? Let's rewind to Jake, a brilliant software developer with 2 amazing job offers on the table. One was a high-paying role at a major tech company, the other, a lower-paying startup with huge potential and creative freedom. Jake researched, listed pros and cons, even created spreadsheets. Weeks passed, the offers expired. He chose neither. Jake didn't fail because he lacked intelligence. He failed because of fear. Fear of choosing wrong, fear of regret, fear of judgment. That's the first root cause of analysis paralysis, fear of failure. Our brains are wired to avoid pain. Making the wrong choice feels risky, so we choose nothing and call it waiting for the right moment. Next comes perfectionism, the unrealistic belief that there's one perfect choice and anything less is failure. This mindset turns every decision into a high-stakes gamble. As author Stephen Pressfield writes in The War of Art, resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. It will perjure, fabricate, it will seduce you. Perfectionism is resistance in disguise. Then there's overthinking fueled by information overload. We're drowning in advice, from experts, influencers, friends, YouTube videos. More data feels like safety, but it often adds confusion. As Barry Schwartz explained in The Paradox of Choice, the more options we have, the more likely we are to experience paralysis, and less likely to be satisfied with our final decision. Have you ever thought what is really the emotional cost of inaction and how it impacts you? Not choosing is a choice, and it's costing you more than you think. Meet Lisa. For years, she dreamed of launching her own design studio. She had the talent, she had the resources, but she also had a habit: planning endlessly. Market research, branding ideas, countless logo drafts. 5 years later, her portfolio remained untouched, and her idea launched by someone else. This is the silent damage of analysis paralysis, missed opportunities. And they don't come with alarms or warnings. They just pass you by. The longer you stay in limbo, the more self-doubt grows. The more regret piles up. The more you start believing the lie, maybe I'm just not ready. And here's the kicker. Stagnation erodes self-worth. Every time you hesitate, you reinforce the belief that you can't trust yourself, that maybe other people are better at deciding, at doing, at living. Stanford researchers found that indecision over time increases stress and decreases life satisfaction. Not because life is hard, but because you keep standing still while the world moves on. So how do you break the loop? How do you stop spinning and finally move forward? In the next section, I'll show you 3 simple actions that cut through the noise and put you back in control. So here's the question. How do you break free when your brain won't stop thinking? Let's look at Noah. He wanted to start a YouTube channel, badly. But every time he tried, he'd get stuck researching gear, comparing niches, watching tutorials. One day he did something radically different. He stopped planning and hit record on his phone. No perfect lighting, no script, just action. That first video changed everything. To escape analysis paralysis, you don't need more information. You need momentum. Here's how to get it. First, set clear goals and prioritize. Write down what you want. Be brutally specific. Don't just say, I want to start a business. Instead, say, I'll launch a product page by Friday, because clarity kills confusion. Vague goals keep you stuck. Clear goals create momentum. Once your goal is defined, prioritize. If everything is important, nothing really is. Second, limit information intake. Information isn't power when it's paralyzing you. Choose one trusted source, one strategy, and stop researching once you have enough to act. Pressfield says, resistance will unfailingly point to your true calling. If you're over-consuming, you're probably avoiding. Third, start small. Iterate fast. Don't wait to get it right. Get it going. Action gives you feedback. Feedback gives you clarity. Perfection is a myth. Progress is the real power. Still wondering if these baby steps matter? In the next section, I'll show you how small actions create massive momentum, and why doing something beats doing nothing every single time. Ever notice how one small win can change your entire day? Sophie did. She spent months overthinking whether she should start freelancing. One day, out of frustration, she opened LinkedIn and posted a single line. Hey friends, I'm open to design gigs. No portfolio, no polished bio, just a start. That week she landed her first client. Here's what she learned. Action creates clarity. You don't think your way into clarity, you move your way into it. Every step forward reveals the path ahead. It's kind of like fog on a road. Take a few steps and the next few become visible. And here's the best part. Action builds confidence. You stop seeing yourself as the stuck one and start identifying as someone who gets things done. That shift in self-image changes everything. In psychology, it's called the progress principle. Even small wins trigger dopamine and reinforce motivation. That's how momentum is born. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a pattern of motion that feeds your belief system. And guess what? Once you get moving, you unlock something deeper, your full potential. Because when you stop letting fear dictate your pace, you start showing up as the version of yourself you were always meant to be. But how do you start today? In the next section, we'll make it personal, with a challenge designed to push you past hesitation and into meaningful action. You've come this far. You've nodded. You've seen yourself in these stories. Now let's flip the mirror. What decision have you been putting off? Let me tell you about Ethan. He had been thinking about starting a podcast for over a year. He had the mic, the outline, even a name. But his biggest blocker, I don't know if anyone will listen. One night, he did something simple. He recorded a 3-minute voice note, titled it Episode 0, and uploaded it to Spotify. No edits, no promo. Today, that one episode has led to a community he never imagined. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to trust yourself enough to begin. Here's how you can start today. Step 1. Name your hesitation, write it down. What's the decision you've been stuck on? Be honest with yourself. Step 2. Identify the trigger. Is it fear, Perfectionism, too many options, call it out. It loses power once you name it. Step 3. Take one small action within 24 hours. Send the email, make the call, post the thing, choose the option. Small moves rewrite your story faster than big plans ever will. The longer you wait, the louder doubt becomes. But once you move, even slightly, everything changes. So what happens when you finally stop overthinking and start living? Let's tie it all together in the next section. So here we are. After all the hesitations, plans, and paused dreams, the truth is simple and powerful. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You need to trust your next step. We started by asking, why do we overthink? We explored the root causes, fear, perfectionism, and information overload. We saw how inaction, though comfortable, carries a heavy emotional cost. And most importantly, we uncovered the antidote: action. Small, imperfect, immediate. Whether it's Emily, Jake, Lisa, Noah, Sophie, or Ethan, they all had one thing in common. They stopped letting fear wear a lab coat and call itself logic. They stopped analyzing and started doing. Analysis paralysis doesn't mean you're broken. It means your mind is trying to protect you. But in doing so, it's holding you back. The breakthrough isn't in choosing perfectly, it's in choosing bravely. You can plan, you can prepare, but until you act, nothing changes. And the life you want, it's on the other side of hesitation. So here's your challenge. Don't just think about this video. Don't just save it for later. Take one uncomfortable, messy, beautiful step today. Because clarity doesn't come before action, it comes because of it. So, what really holds us back from taking action? It's not laziness. It's the fear of making the wrong decision, disguised as logic, research, and endless planning. Your mind, wired for protection, craves certainty. But in a world of infinite choices, certainty is a myth. And so, we freeze. Daniel Kahneman taught us how slow, deliberate thinking often traps us in hesitation. Barry Schwartz revealed that too many options don't set us free. They paralyze us. And Stephen Pressfield reminded us, resistance is loudest at the beginning, but it loses all power the moment you move. So tell me, what's one decision you've been avoiding that deserves action today? Drop it in the comments. Your courage might just inspire someone to rewrite their own story. At Metanoia, every story helps you rewire the way you think, choose, and live. If this video made something shift inside you, do like it, share, or subscribe for more stories that don't just teach, they unlock the parts of you waiting to rise. Because this isn't just self-improvement, it's self-remembrance. And your next breakthrough, it begins where no one else is looking, within. Thanks for watching, and truly, thank you for staying.